Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game, HMP Droid Gunship, released in 2020. Now this vessel, or droid if you will, was first seen in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith at the Battle of Kashyyyk. And you know what, I gotta be honest, the Separatist and Republic forces in X-Wing are becoming my favorite. I love the designs, I love that era, I think they look amazing. So the HMP in this droid gunship stands for Heavy Missile Platform, and rightfully so. This vessel is loaded to the brim. We have laser cannons on the sides, turrets, laser cannon in the front, and missiles on the underbelly of the vessel or droid. And it is awesome. Really digging this. Now, this vessel could be used to carry up to 12 battle droids, super battle droids, or droid commandos. It is also, besides being used for a transport, a gunship, and rightfully so. I mean, it is loaded to the brim with weapons, which is pretty sick. Now, just like all my latest X-Wing videos, I gotta say where I got this from. Don't worry, it's not a sponsorship or anything like that. I'm just really excited for this little shop that opened near my home. And I want to spread the word about this place because I really don't want to see it disappear because it's a great place. It's called Red Seal Gaming. And if you're into tabletop gaming, miniatures, go there. The guy who runs it is awesome, very knowledgeable, and he loves Star Wars. He loves everything he's doing in there, and it's really cool. You walk in, there's some tables to play at, and he sells Warhammer, Dungeons & Dragons, X-Wing, as well as Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, and all the accessories that go with those games, among other things. So it's really cool. So if you live in the Central Jersey area, please check out his shop. It's really cool. And if you're interested in checking out his shop, I'll put links in the description below to all the websites and such. So getting back to this model, for its measurements, it comes in at about 2 inches long. And, you know, it may sound a little short. Basically, it gets about half an inch from the cannon in the front. But it is a nice sized vessel, and it scales well with the rest of the ships because this isn't really a ship. It's piloted by a robotic brain or a computer. It's a droid. You know, it's supposed to be smaller than something like, say, the Republic gunship, which needs 2 pilots and whatnot. So it's a cool aspect and a cool idea. So we have a lot to cover today. If you're new to my channel, what I'd like to do is look at the dials, tokens, and cards. Look at the beautiful vessel, get nice and close, see what we're really buying here. Check out the paint, put it on a stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get started. And now it's time for my favorite part of these videos, the dial token roll call. Up first, 1 maneuver dial. 3 ship tokens, which are double-sided. 2 calculate tokens. 1 stress token. 1 critical damage marker. 2 strain tokens. 3 ion tokens. 3 shield tokens. 2 lock tokens, number 15. 2 fuse marker tokens. 8 standard charge tokens. 2 concussion bombs. 3 ship ID tokens, number 15. And finally, 1 dial ID token. So that does it for all the dials and tokens. Now let's take a quick look at those cards. First up for the cards, we have our ship cards. Like in all my videos, I will read the name of the card. If you would like to pause the video and read all the stats, by all means, go right ahead and continue when you're done. First up, we have Onderon Oppressor, DGS-286, Genosian Prototype, DGS-047, Bactoid Drone, and finally, Separatist Predator. And I love the artwork here. Great stuff. So that does it for the ship cards. Now let's take a look at the upgrade cards. For the upgrade cards, we have 2 concussion bombs, delayed fuses, ion missiles, Kalani, multi-missile pods, synced laser cannons, and finally, repulsor stabilizers active. And if we turn it over, repulsor stabilizers inactive. And that does it for the upgrade cards. Now let's take a quick look at those quick build cards. For the quick build cards, here's the first one, here's the second one, and finally, here's the third one. So that does it for all the dials, tokens, and cards that come with this set. Let's take a quick look at the rules, and then we're going to have a nice look at this beautiful ship. Alright, for the rules for the HMP Droid Gunship, on the front we have all the continents that comes with our expansion, which is pretty nice. For the interior, we have some new rules. Fuse markers, side slips, solitary, strain tokens, and devices. I always love when expansions come with these rulebooks because it breaks the rules down so that way you can learn on the fly. Or if you're with your friends and it's a brand new expansion and you don't happen to have your rulebook, these will come in handy. So great touch as always. And on the back, we have our credits with a bunch of people who worked on the project, as well as copyright crap. So that does it for all the new rules in this packet. So now let's take a look at this awesome looking ship. Alright, let's finally take a look at this beautiful ship. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the item, and we'll get a nice close-up look to see those fine details. Now, this is a very small miniature, again about 2 inches in length, including the cannon. But look at all the detail on here. That is amazing. Really, it is. It's breathtaking. From an artistic point of view, this is great. So anyway, I'm jumping ahead of myself. Let's go over the main components. Starting with the main body, this is a very special section here. We have our reactor core, coolant radiator panels, as well as thrusters. Now, I was always under the interpretation that thrusters were in the back to propel it forward, and rightfully so they might be. However, according to my research, this whole section is an engine propelling it upwards, and it could move back and forth like that. So, really cool. I think that's awesome. Now, we also have tons of panel lines, raised sections, recesses. Nothing is flat on here. I love the components on the side for the module system. Usually, these could be laser cannons or missiles. However, on mine, on both sides, we have laser cannons, which looks amazing. Nicely detailed. Looking in the front right here, we do have our rangefinders and shield projectors, which look amazing. Nicely done. For the underneath, a beautiful amount of detail. Peg port for the stand. Again, our light laser cannons. And right here, we have 14 molded missiles. 7 on each side, and they look amazing. Again, we're going to get a nice close-up look in just a few. Coming down, we have our neck section, and then our droid's head, if you want to call it that. You can see the photoreceptors, or eyes in the front, which looks really cool. You can see the great design there. We have our laser cannon right in the front, droid mandibles on the sides, and these 2 sections here, with the 2 barrels on each, that is probably one of my favorite parts on here. Those are actually turrets. And in the cannon, they can move independently while this is flying around. That is sick. So on those turrets, we do have laser cannons, which look amazing. And in between those 2 barrels, you can see this little raised section right there and right here. That's actually the turret's targeting sensor. So each one is moving independent, and that is amazing. So that covers all the major sections of this ship. So now, let's take a look at the fine details. Alright, getting as close as I can without it getting blurry. We have the main body, which we're going to look at first. And we're going to look at the bottom, and then check out the head of the droid, or ship, whichever you want to call it. But in the back, we have these recessed sections, which are nicely molded. Looking very nice. Great stuff there. Now the whole main body is covered with this beautiful paneling. And if I turn it like this, we can see nothing is flat. Everything has little lines, molded sections, raised sections, recesses. And right here where the reactor is in the radiator panels, we can see there's actually a molded grate there. Which is insane, really. But a welcome addition. We have little circles that are recessed on the sides. Looking good. Coming to the front. We can see the beautiful curves on here with all these excellent little pieces that are molded. These little raised sections. Little grates. Fantastic. Now, looking at the molded modular system over here, we could see some beautiful details in here. Nice stuff. Beautifully done. I love this little armor piece here. Good stuff. And on the bottom, You can see the two barrels there, which are molded. And we have the back section. You can see how that curves a little bit, which is amazing. Just beautiful. And that's the same for this side. They're the same exact mold, but a beautiful piece. And you can see the whole side even is molded pretty good. Again, we have that little grate there for the shield generators on the sides. Coming around, you can see there's actually molding, which is pretty good. You know, you think that it's just going to be flat, but you know what? They went the extra mile. And you can see the little raised sections all over. Great stuff. A fantastic piece here. I really like this very much. Now, here's the best part of the ship, in my opinion. Look at all the detailing down here. Just look at this. We have, looks to be vents, raised sections, line work, paneling that's raised or recessed. Excellent line work going around the sides. And lots of modules like these missiles here. Just great components. A little iffy with the paint in the center, but that's like the only issue with the paint. You know, I thought there was a paint mishap over here, but I'm wrong. Yeah, right here's the only mishap. But anyway, back to the mold. A fantastic feast for the eyes here. We have our peg port. Look at this center section. Man. Now turning it like this, let's look at these missiles. Look at the molding on them. Great. Don't even know what to say. They just look amazing. You can see the little fins on the cones there. Great stuff. Turning it like, you know what? Let's try this way. Might look a little better with the light. Yeah, look at that. 7 on that side. And 7 on this side. Pretty cool. And even underneath is molded like they're on little racks there. Pretty cool. It's the same for this side. Fantastic. Looking at the aft section. Just very cool. And you can see, just like the top, nothing is flat here. Everything is raised up or lowered. And it looks amazing here. Just real beautiful stuff. I think they did an amazing job with this. Now moving up, we have this neck section, which has some beautiful line work, raised sections and recesses. And you can see it comes up here. Line work's continued. Very nice. We have this beautiful panel here. And some excellent molding coming through the center to the mandibles. And the mandibles actually look pretty cool. Pretty nice. Excellent stuff. You can see the gray and dark gray there. Dark gray for the laser cannon, which is molded very nice. And look at the turret here. There is actually molding going all the way around it. And a black wash fills in all those details and really brings it to life. Great stuff. Now in the center, that raised section is the targeting sensor, which is awesome. And that's the same for this side. Again, they're molding around. Target sensor and the barrels. Just fantastic stuff. I think this came out great. Now looking at the front, we can see molding on the sides. And the eyes are actually recessed in. Very cool. We have molding on the sides. As this piece, I guess we could call it the eyes, sort of blends into the neck piece here. And that's the same for this side. You can see how it sort of V's to it, which is kind of cool. We have raised sections coming down. Just really awesome stuff. Raised section right there. A little bleeding on the eye, but not bad. Again, we're super zoomed in. And then we have our armor above the eyes, which looks amazing. A fantastic piece. And that's everything I have to say about the mold. You know, this may be a small ship, but it does have a lot going for it. So now, let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at the paint on the Star Wars X-Wing HMP Droid Gunship, this baby features about 7 different colors. Now for the size, that's very, very impressive. So let's go over them. First up, we have a mixture of gray and dark gray, a little light gray as well, all mixed in. We can see it on the main color of the ship, that beautiful light gray, going from the head all the way to the aft section, the modular system on the sides, as well as the underneath, painted beautifully. Just a fantastic job. And then, of course, we have our dark gray reactor section, the barrels for the cannons, light cannons, and missiles. Looking pretty good. Moving on from there, we do have some red for the eyes of the droid, painted very nice. I think those came out great. Moving on from there, we do have yellow for the symbols on the sides. And then we have blue, which is a very nice blue, almost a navy blue in a way. Just really dark and bright at the same time. And it contrasts very well with this nice light gray. You can see it on the rangefinders, around the turrets, the droid's head, and especially underneath. I love this design they did here. How it's like an arrowhead with the gray and the blue. Just beautiful. Really beautiful. What do you guys think about this paint scheme? Let me know in the comments below. I really like to hear your guys' views. So, our last color is, you guessed it, a wash. And it fills in all these nooks and crannies and really brings the detail to life. It's what I love about the Fantasy Flight games miniatures. You know, they are amazing looking. But the paint on these, it doesn't cover anything up. It fills in all the little nooks and crannies and really brings these ships to life and adds a layer of realism to them. And I think it looks great. So that does it for the mold as well as the paint. So now let's put this baby back on the stand, compare it to some other pieces, and then we'll be done. And just like other Star Wars X-Wing miniature sets, it does come with a cool stand. We get 2 pegs we connect together to make a large one. Peg it into port like so. And now grab your ship. You can see the peg port right there. Put it on. Please be gentle. Sometimes these can be very fragile. And just like that, everybody, you are good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the HMP Droid Gunship seen in the center, I have a couple of other Separatist X-Wing vessels I reviewed. First, on the right-hand side, we have the Genosian Starfighter looking awesome. And moving on to the left-hand side, we have the Vulture Droid and also the Hyena Bomber. These are some great-looking vessels. And again, I did review all of them, so if you're interested, check the links in the description below. And for an added bonus size comparison with the HMP Droid Gunship seen in the center, on the right-hand side, we have the Republic Gunship, also known as the LAATI Gunship, looking good. And then moving on to the left-hand side, we have the First Order Xi-Class Light Shuttle. Very nice stuff here. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars X-Wing miniatures game HMP Droid Gunship, released in 2020. This expansion gives you everything you need to add one HMP Droid Gunship to your Separatist faction of X-Wing. And I have to say, it's an awesome expansion. Not only do you get all the components you need to play it, but look at this miniature. For the mold, it may not have the size, but my god, it's jam-packed with detail, and I mean amazing amounts of detail. As we saw, it has everything you would want in this type of droid, and it looks fantastic. Now moving on to the paint, this is a beautifully done piece. We have about 7 different colors working together to really bring this ship to life. Now there is a little bleeding on the eye and underneath of the vessel, but it's minor at best. This, for the 2 inches that it is painted awesomely. We have the blues, the grays, the yellow, the red, and that black wash working together to really give us something special here. So that's really everything I have to say about this Droid Gunship. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see new videos every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch my content. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody!